American Red Cross is there before and after a disaster strikes, and today they're raising money to support the Central Valley chapter.
That's right. Our Christina Tetro joins us live from River Park in Fresno this morning on the Shelter of Hope fundraiser. She has all the details there. What's going on?
It's a very important cause, very, very important. The American Red Cross, like we said, they help respond when any disaster hits, whether it's a home fire or an extreme emergency across the nation. So they have this entire setup here at River Park to educate the community as well as to raise funds on exactly what they do to help, and also to raise funds to make sure they can be able to continue to do that. So they have everything simulated here of what they would actually roll out, from the registration table where they collect everyone's information, and then as you go in, you'll go ahead and see everything that they have set up if you were indeed in an emergency. Now, in this shelter, this is actually only a fourth of the size of a normal shelter that they would actually roll out on a day-to-day basis in an emergency. I'm also here with Central Valley Chapter Executive Director Barry Folk. And Barry, tell us, today's event, what do you want people to take home?
You know, I think really today's an opportunity to celebrate the Red Cross here in this area, but certainly to hopefully educate our community on the Red Cross services, and of course disaster being front of mind. You know, last year alone the Red Cross provided over 1.2 million overnight shelter stays across the country, including the Detweiler fire here in our own backyard. And so whether it was Hurricane Harvey or small disaster stays like the Detweiler fire or smaller disasters, or maybe it's a home fire where people just need a place to stay that night, the Red Cross is currently actively really involved in the community, ensuring that people have hope, that people have comfort, and really that they have the resources they need if something does strike their home.
And Shelter of Hope today goes on from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Will you walk us through kind of the shelter and what people see? So we already hit the registration table. People kind of come on in, but tell us what the setup is.
Yeah, so of course there's the dormitory area that's kind of pretty obvious here, where we would have folks stay with cots. Of course, every person who stays in a Red Cross shelter gets issued a Red Cross blanket and what we call a comfort kit, which is really this kind of bag that would have things like shampoo and a toothbrush, just things that certainly they would have if they were away from their homes. We have, of course, feeding is a huge piece of what we do with the Red Cross, and so last year, I mean, you can see just millions and millions of snacks and food and meals that were served, certainly here in the shelters across the nation. Again, I mentioned the Detweiler fire where we had that as well.
There's actually a number I do want to point out to everyone really quickly. California wildfires, just last year, there's one at 278,000. That's in our backyard here in California, so that really speaks volumes. So again, the Shelter of Hope right here at River Park. If you're shopping or if you're just anywhere in the area, go ahead and stop by, make a donation, or just walk through to see and learn what they do and what they roll out when there are any emergencies. Again, we're going to have all of this information for you online later after the newscast at yourcentralvalley.com.
All right. Thank you, Christina. This is important. You know, they're always there when the disaster strikes.